Yeah, just need, I think, to practice those phrases.
You just need to practice it. You've got, okay, when you start off, when you talk about the conference, just say it's a tech conference. You don't have to get into the detail of the energy. And if you're going to do that, then be really specific. I went to the Energy Savings 2016 Expo at the Heinz Convention Center. Be really specific. The first speaker was John Logan from Solar City Panels, and he was talking about energy efficiency. Be specific, as opposed to some guy was a senior VP at some energy company. We need to paint the picture. So if you're going to refer to him, get his name and his position. You can get his position, that was good, and what his speech was. So the first speaker is John Logan from Los Angeles. He was an executive vice president at Solar Panel City. And he was talking about energy laws. I already knew his name. I already knew his position. I already knew the name of his speech. He lost me at hello. I was so bored, I started texting because he didn't hold my interest at the beginning. So you see how there's much more color when you get specific? So if you have that agenda, then put that in there. When you do the car towing, you're very good with body language, but your body language decreased because you were focusing on the car towing. Be more, really get in your head that there's a car being towed. And what you do is you give these examples before you explain what they are. So we've all heard about happy endings. Now I want to talk about happy beginnings. Is that a car being towed? To see how I'm really oh my God, I've totally lost it. Is that a car being towed? Same way, if there's no windows, if we're in the room downstairs, it's going to be. Now I want to talk about happy beginnings. Is that smoke? It moved. It moved. So if you do this, people will follow you. So you can do the same thing. Is that a car being towed? So then you go into, ask a really interesting question that's going to hold someone's interest. Is that your car being towed? Are we on fire? The same thing is when you come into the astonishing fact, you told the astonishing fact part first before the example. So the second way to open a speech is with an astonishing fact. Did you know that since you're Toastmasters, if you go to jail, blah, 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 blah. So once you give the car towing example about the question, so ask an interesting question. You're all Toastmasters. They teach Toastmasters in prison. The people that take Toastmasters in prison have a 90% less chance of going back to prison again because they took Toastmasters. You're Toastmasters. If you've never been to prison and you go to prison, you're probably only going to go once. And that's the second way to start a speech, with an astonishing fact. This is actually true. If you've never been to jail once, you're probably only going to go once. So do the astonishing fact before you disclose that it's an astonishing fact. Okay? And then the third one was fine. This is priming. Priming is when I do something where you know what's going to come next. When I do this, you know I'm going to give a speech. And what are you going to do? You're going to be quiet and listen because I'm about to honor somebody. Another way to do it, once upon a time. So that one you did just fine. And then, the only thing I had in here is just be clear, explain what priming is. Some people will know what it is, some people won't. But you've got the flow down. I would photograph this and just keep. But remember, the order is very important in how you do these. And the only thing you haven't picked up yet is that this happy ending, happy beginning part has to happen before you talk about your three ways, because you lose the punch of the happy beginning. So you have to be after I saw these horror stories, I was thinking of other kind of stories, like happy endings. Everybody likes a happy ending. But what about a happy beginning? What about good ways to start a speech? Is that a car being towed? Do you see how that flows? But if you do it the other way, So after I heard that horrible speech, I thought I want to give a speech about how to do a good start. Is that a carving toad? Well, you've heard about happy endings. Now I want to talk about happy beginnings. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
See, like that's why it's important. But you've got it all on tape. I would photograph this
Yeah.
and just keep practicing, and then we'll do this again next Wednesday.
I was thinking to give a speech next Wednesday.
Then we'll give it next Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. Okay, we're at 8:25.